Yo, what's up everyone? Thank you for clicking on this YouTube video. I will try and be as informative as possible without wasting any of your time. I'll walk you through exactly how I trade. So, I start off on the daily time frame, but most days it doesn't really tell me anything, like today and then the 4 hour. Same exact thing today. And then I usually go lower time frames here, like the 1 hour. And on the 1 hour, what I can see is that not much, except for this. I saw this. I saw this 1 hour gap, and then there was the same one on ES, but ES had taken it. So coming into market open, which is somewhere around here, ES had already tapped into this gap. So what I saw for ES instead was intermediate low. And then this one was created after the market. This one was created during market open. So we're only looking at these. So I saw this and this. So I honestly saw these as my key targets. These are my very key targets, which ended up getting hit. But let's go and see on the lower time frames if they ended up getting hit on those. And then yeah, for NQ I have this 1 hour fair value gap right here and this 1 hour low, and that was pretty much it. For this one. Then 15-minute time frame, I go and I honestly, like, yes, we had these highs here. Like, I did mark out some of these, to be honest with you. So I marked out honestly all of this here. But I'm gonna be honest, right? And I'm not always gonna be right, but it is what it is. I wanted this to get hit because it was just the cleanest draw on liquidity. You could see price drawing towards it. These are not very clean. Like, price doesn't have a reason to go take this out. Versus this, it is. Because we're talking about hourly fair value gap. Come on, that's huge. We gotta tap into an unfilled hourly. Also, if you guys can see on the hourly time frame, we are bearish because coming in, we're disrespecting these bearish for fair value gaps, and we're also respecting the bullish fair value gaps, like on the 15-minute time frame. What? Yo, I know we were respecting the bullish ones, bro. Dude, I know we were. All right, let's keep going. But yeah, no, the main thing that I see is that we are hold on, was it on the 4 hour instead? No, was it on the 5-minute? Look, the main thing that I saw, okay? Main thing. We're disrespecting bullish fair value gaps, okay? When we do that, we're going to be bearish. And when we're bearish, we're gonna want to go take out bearish things, like bearish draws on liquidity, and like draws on liquidity to the sell side, and like bullish fair value gaps. So like this one in this case. Alright, so let's zoom into the lower time frames really quickly. So 5-minute didn't really tell me much, and then 1 minute. So look, market opened here, right? So 9:30 candlestick. I also exclusively trade NQ, just so you guys know. So look, it's 9:30, right? Wait, am I speaking too loud? Okay, sorry guys, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, we're coming in here at 9:30, and overall a lot of bearish selling pressure with this big fair value gaps indicates that there's just extremely bearish. There's a lot of sellers in the market, and so ideally in this case, I'm gonna be honest with you, I wanted to see a tap into a like a fair value gap, like in this case. And then I wanted to take it lower. So we had two of those. So we had on the 5-minute, price went. So on the 5-minute, we had this one. Okay. On the 5-minute, we had this one. So as you can see, at first, forget about this big candlestick, but at first, price comes up, taps it. And then on ES, it leaves it unfilled. The same gap as this one right here. It's the same gap on ES. ES leaves it unfilled. But ES is still overall bearish, and come on, like, these are just very juicy lows, and I know it wants to go take it out. So yeah, after we get that tap in, then yes, of this leg here, the highest time frame, was actually the 1 minute, but the 1 minute was all the way down here. I'm not gonna wait for that. So what I saw as being good is we came up into this leg, right? So this was the the manipulation leg, and then we create this 30-second gap, which gets inversed right here. This was a nice trade. I like this one, but it is what it is, right? Yeah, this was a super clean break even. Probably would have went somewhere around. Nah, that's probably too low. I didn't really have a good break even, or there wasn't really a good break even point for this one. But I'm just showing you guys all. I'm gonna show you all the setups. So this was the first setup that I saw. From this, probably a better setup is this one, because price comes up and it now fills a 15-minute gap. Okay, so we come up and now we fill a 15-minute. Now we're more discounted, yet we're still bearish on the higher time frames especially. And so because of that, I'm gonna want to zoom in and look at, again, same exact thing, highest time frame inverse off of the 15-minute, which was this, just so you guys know. And again, it happens to be it. So for this time, it happens to be this 1 minute. Yeah, it happens to be. Wait, hold on. Was there a 5 minute? I'm going back in time. Yeah, there was a 5. No, I knew that there was a 5 minute. Okay, so you get a 5 minute right here, and then very clean inverse. So you're telling me, so price is bearish, right? It leaves this strong low, this hourly fair value gap, a bunch of more a bunch of more clean draws on liquidity that is trending towards. It comes up, taps a 15-minute, but doesn't inverse it, and then we have strong displacement with 2 5-minute nice candlesticks to inverse this gap. So I saw this as another nice trade, and this one actually had a nice break-even point as well right here. This was very clean in my opinion. You could do a 1-to-1 as well, but this was very clean in my opinion. This was a very nice trade. So now let's see what are the problems with this one. The problem with this one is that ES, that we now had wait, let me see the time. So the time is this. Okay, the problem with ES, 2 things. Number one, ES was showing more bullish. So at first, ES was bearish coming into the open, but then it was like, even though it was more bearish, it was having difficulties inversing this 5-minute gap, which it shouldn't be that way, right? So that was a sign. Especially this big wick. That's a sign that, okay, maybe now price wants to switch up its order flow and turn into being bullish, and then end up inversing the 15-minute, which is what happens. Second up is we did have sort of an SMT, especially at the 1 hour, because as you can see, ES had already tapped it. So ES had already tapped ES had already tapped it and inversed the 1 hour. And so because it was lower, that was like technically an SMT. But the thing is, that's not really valid in my book. Like for me, if it took out these lows, fine, then I'll respect the SMT. But like just the fact that ES was lower shouldn't count as like, an SMT, like to cause price to go higher. Like, look, there's not always going to be a reason like that price wants to reverse. It is what it is some days, okay? So those were the only problems. But overall, I view both of those trades as really nice trades. And then from that, we do end up going higher. And I honestly don't see the case here to go long. Reason being, we don't have any clear targets. What here appeals to you? Nothing, because it's not even low resistance. It's not even clean. It's just a bunch of just like random chop. So nothing here appeals to me. There's nothing higher time frame that we're going towards. Like if like these lows are definitely stronger than these are up here. So I don't understand what. So there's 2 things. In order for me to take a long, right, I'm gonna need price to. Yeah. In order for me to take a long, I'm gonna need price to want to there to be a reason for price to reverse off of where it is right now. There's not a reason. If we leave these lows resting, that becomes an even stronger draw on liquidity because now we have more stacked lows. Second thing is there has to be a reason for us to go higher. You might say, oh, okay, but wait. What if it wants to leave them untouched, go up, fill something, and then it goes back down? Okay, cool. Fill what? Fill what? There's nothing up here to fill. Nothing. Not on 15 minute, not on 5 minute, not on anything. So, and as you guys can see, which is the reason why longs didn't play out either, right? So we were just stuck in a chop because shorts didn't play out at first, longs didn't either. Because like if you went long off the 5 minute or even the 15 minute, you would get destroyed, right? So price ended up hitting all these draws exactly like I said they would, but it just it took more time than I expected it to, and it did a bunch of nothing. I don't know, yeah, and it did it just made this weird move up, which didn't take out any draws on liquidity before making the actual big move. But then that's after 10:30, so you know if you could definitely trade that. That would definitely be nice actually. Yeah, you could even maybe take this 15-minute closure. It looks very strong. But yeah, that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Look, yeah, awesome. And then also, if I took a short, I would definitely go. I would TP once ES took these lows. If I went on Nasdaq, so even though Nasdaq didn't take them, I would still have one. So yeah. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you learned something new. Peace out.